Now we reach the sixth one. This is the biggest one of all, and if you listen, it will change the quality of your life. Step 6 is building financial income and interest. There are two elements at play here that we call them financial battles you have to win in order to become financially independent. If you don't incorporate these, and can I be strong with you? I'm going to get nose to nose and tell you if you don't incorporate these, then it may be many years before you become financial independent. Here are the two battles. The battles of inflation, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, and the battle of taxes. Now, it's not what you keep, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep. And taxes can ruin you if you don't handle your taxes. Let us talk about inflation. Do you know about the rule of 72? If you had 4% income divided by 72 equals 18. So what that says is if you had 4% interest, it'd take you 18 years for your money to double. If you increase that rate, say you had 9% interest by 72, it would take you 7 years for that to, that doesn't seem right. 72 divided by 9 is 8. It would take you 8 years for your money to double. If you had 10, it would take you 7 years for your money to double. So the better the interest rate, the better off you are. Let's take a look at the example in the book. All right, this guy had 4%, $10,000 in the years he had, the 18 years, it grew to be $40,000. Now, let's cover that and to go over this guy, and he had 12%. It took 6 years. So by the time he turned 65, he had $640,000 because he knew the rule of inflation. This guy missed out on $600,000. We don't want you to miss out on $600,000. All right, let's think about if you were 29 years old. Let's say you had $10,000. This is what this guy had. You had 4%. But let me tell you, it's not like having $10,000. It's the rate of interest. It's having something each month put away for your retirement. All right. So at 65, you have $40,000. How long is that going to realistically last you? If you weren't a big spender, maybe a year and a half. But probably not very long. So now you'll have to be a greeter at Walmart, trying to earn money again to get by. The problem is you've run out of time. No one wants to work past 65. There's only one thing that can change here, and that's the rate of interest. It's not about the money or the time horizon, just the interest. So the $1 million question is how do you get 12% instead of 4%? Let's look at how things change everything. With a higher interest rate, financial independence can be achieved. It got this guy $600,000. You can change the quality of your life, and you know what? It's not about having that 10. It's still about increasing that interest rate. So back to the $1 million question. Where do we get higher interest rates? There is 3 options that I will highlight. This one is the banks. They have the CDs and the mutual funds and the money markets that pay you a consistent rate of return with no loss of principal, no loss of interest. All right, on the far side of this, we have the stock market, which has the mutual funds, it has stocks, but the rate of return goes up and down because it's pretty dicey. Here in the middle, we have the index funds tied to the S&P. Lately, it's been making 10.4% on average with no loss of principal and no loss of income. So where would you like your money to be? That's a good choice. All right. Let me give you an example of how the S&P works. All interest is linked to the S&P performance, but not the down risk associated with the money market. You can see why the index approach is quickly becoming the most popular. One of the best ways to win the battle of inflation is the index strategy and how it's going. Here's an example. This 30-year-old boy walked into the bank and said, "Banker, how much would it take for me to be a millionaire by the time I'm 60? The banker wrote down $1,640. Well, this young man, he couldn't put away that much a month. And back there you can get 5%. So this is probably 5%. All right. But this guy did nothing because he felt so bad he couldn't come up with that. So he didn't do nothing. So he walked out of the bank. He's a Walmart employee. He's a greeter there. He's a nice young fellow and everybody knows him. All right. So let's apply the rule of inflation and get him 10%. That drops it down to $900 a month. Could you put in $900 a month? Probably not. Could you put in, but if you put in $900, that dropped at $740. That made it a little bearable for most people. And so let's apply the rule of taxes. Tax deferred might dropped it to $200 to $300 a month. Now you and I could do that. We couldn't do this one, but we could do this one. So do you know people that can put away this kind of money a month? Probably Sue. It's not about putting away a ton of money. It's putting away some money on a regular basis. But what will happen when we win the battle of taxes with the taxer? When you apply step 6, you could shave off years of your financial independence. And if you found yourself financially independent, what would you be doing right now? Laying on a beach somewhere. Okay. Well, you know, if you're financially independent, you can do what you want to, spend what you want to, and do it when you want to. You don't have to rely on everyone else. And your income, your growth, your interest will be outperforming your income. So you could choose at that point whether you want to work or not. Isn't that awesome? You're going to owe me big time when we set this up. When we come back together, I'm going to show you where you're going to be and when you can retire to the day. And you will know exactly when you're going to be financially independent. You have options. You can do what you can, when you and how you want. This is step 6.